everyone. Happy. It's still Monday, right? We're on a different time zone, but it's still Monday. We're sorry that the times are different for the show because it is very late back on the East Coast, but it's just the beginning of the evening here. We're live from Radio Row, San Francisco for the entire week. So consider this as we just needed to show our faces that we made it. We're here. How you doing? Welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show. I'm Ryan Ripken. It's on a banner now, which is amazing. We wanted to check in with you guys. So we apologize for the delays. We've had a day.
Yeah.
We have made it here. We have, Zach. We made it.
We have made it. Actually, I think that's pretty much the only way to put it. We physically we are here. We are on Radio Row. Mentally, I think we are all starting to hit a wall.
Speak for yourself, dude.
I will. I think most of us are starting to hit. I'm getting a lot of nods from the other people here. I think we're going to keep chugging. Like we're going to keep pushing. We're content don't sleep, but no. I'd be lying if suddenly my body clock wasn't like, hey, it's like 10 p.m. and then I look, I'm like, why is it 6 o'clock? Still gets me.
So this is like Kevin constantly on like Pacific Coast time, but on the East Coast. Yeah. This is like how Kevin feels.
We're going to be on his schedule.
We are.
Yeah.
How about that? Brad, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. I'm also a little foggy, but we got food. So I'm feeling a little bit better now that we had some food today.
Well, and you know what? Oh yeah, food does help. We for our group out here, for people that are wondering, it's me, Zach, Brad, and the other Ryan, who's hiding behind here. There's a little head there.
Half his face.
Peek your head in.
Just hey, there he is. Up.
All right, there he is. So that's the crew for the week. We're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be joining us throughout the week. But we did need to talk about a couple things today. So we're going to talk about them because you know what happens? News breaks when we're on the damn plane.
Yes.
And in this case, the Ravens hired the defensive coordinator. Anthony Weaver is coming back to Baltimore. Welcome back, Anthony.
Welcome back.
So Anthony's back. A trade happens as well where the M's are getting aggressive. Guess what? Did the Orioles sign a guy? You are mistaken. No pitcher signed yet. At least on that. Oh, that's it right there. Got to let that one play a little longer. Wow. That's true. It hasn't happened. But you know what? I'm just over it. The spring training's a week away.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm actually really curious on, if we're talking about baseball, is what's happening with Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. That is kind of crazy if you guys haven't heard about it. This is a short episode, so don't expect the hour, 2 hour. This might be a little 30-minute, hey, how you doing? We're here. We're ready to rock and roll because we have an interview starting tomorrow morning at 8:30, so your boys got to be ready to rock.
11:30 your time.
11:30 your time.
If you're on the East Coast. If you're not, figure out, we will post like a timetable sheet. You can do the math of what time.
Yeah.
So. That would be good content.
We should.
Just like the content of me with the different photos. So if you're on Instagram, go to Ryan Ripken Show and let me know if you like the soft smile. If you like the soft,
it was only
the soft smile.
It was only
the
like
hat, no
20
hat.
minutes of my life of taking pictures I will never get back.
Yeah, and I do understand also if you guys are watching on the vertical compared to the horizontal.
Yeah,
we know
not much we can do about that.
Go to the horizontal to get the full thing. Vertical. Sorry. That's just kind of what we're dealing with tonight. If you don't like it, play better.
Probably just not.
We're so sorry.
We're just not going to do vertical this week.
Is that
yeah? Like
there's no way.
Sign. I wish I could sign.
There's no way I can fit everybody. The only person I can fit in is me.
But, yeah, Brad's pretty centered.
That's all that matters.
That's nice. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. Okay. Should we do it? Where do we want to start? Sports.
Should we start with what's happening? Down the street.
Hold on.
And by down the street.
Somebody just gave me flowers, so I'm just going to have to acknowledge that. You know what? You're welcome.
Look at that.
Thank you.
This place is, you know what? Well, it's going to be interesting the rest of the week, but we always do a great job. And by we, I'm not going to take any of the credit. That's going to be Brad. So, yes, Brad's done a fantastic job. It sounds good. This is late over here still. Like, it's empty.
It's empty here, yeah.
But Tuesday, Wednesday.
A very loud and obnoxious radio station that I had to drown out.
shout out to the tech team.
Yeah.
There it is. And by the tech team, Ryan Ripken Media Show, we have a huge, extensive group here. It's so massive, you can't even imagine.
I was fighting the light boxes today as Zach. I was cussing out.
Yeah, they were
Good.
kicking ass.
Good.
They were kicking my. Yeah.
That's how you win.
Over the light boxes.
You know what? But you did it. They look fantastic. And some would say you won the battle.
Yeah.
It was a must win for you, Brad. It was a must win for you.
It was a must win.
So why don't we start with the Super Bowl conversation here first? Then we'll get to Anthony Weaver. Then we'll close out some baseball. Does that sound like a good plan today?
Sounds like a plan.
Ready? 3, 1, 2, 3, team.
Sports.
Okay. Let's go to right down the street. And by down the street, it's like in San Jose, where the opening ceremonies are kind of kicking off here for Super Bowl week. The Patriots are out here. The Seahawks made their way out. But Mike Vrabel then was asked some questions. And that's the normal procedures of this whole week. But Mike Vrabel was asked a specific question. You're in the Super Bowl. There is no tomorrow. And so a reporter asked the brave question of what you think this game would be considered for him and Patriots fans. So let's play that clip for you.
Must-win game.
A must-win. Yeah, I think every time we go out is a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
That's a question.
So if you didn't hear that a little bit,
Yeah,
do you mind turning me up a little bit, if you don't mind, on the on my thing? A little bit up on the a little table for Humana. Good. So if you didn't hear the question, Mike Vrabel was asked, is this a must win? Well, if you like winning Super Bowls, then this is it. You can't go another step. This is the game. Now, if you're in the moral victories of we're here, then no, we hope to enjoy the experience, but I'm just going to take a guess. I don't think anyone is going to walk away saying, yeah, you know what? We're just happy to be here. I must win.
Everybody gave Miss Lynn Jones a freaking hard time about, just taking 27 seconds. How about asking dumbass questions like this? How come that doesn't get the attention that Miss Lynn Jones did?
So do you think it's a must-win game? I'm curious.
You see, these are these questions where, like you said, Brad, like we journalists will get all upset about certain things happening, and then that will be asked, and you're like, shout out Vrabel. You know what? That's just what because I feel like a lot of coaches would have been like, could you imagine Belichick being asked that?
No.
Hey, is this Brady? Hey, is this a must win at the Super Bowl? Hey, you get nervous? Is this a must win? Or are you cool with if you guys just play well, play your best? And what are we doing?
So the one thing I'd be curious on the context.
It's a long day for everyone.
What if it could have been a long day, a lot of travel, but what is the context that it could have been? Was it before it's your first time in the Super Bowl? Do you feel like you must win? I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying, right? But typically when it's the game, everything you've dreamed of, this is what you've hoped for. It seems like a game you might want to win. It would
There's no
seem
benefit
like
of the doubt, bro.
Yeah. I try.
Fucking stupid is what it was.
I try. You know what? But maybe we should line up some of our questions for our guests. Maybe our guest tomorrow when the Ravens won Super Bowl 47. Did you consider that a must win?
Is he the one?
Or when the lights went off, did you sit there and go,
Is he the one that's 8:30?
He's the one that's at 8:30.
Of course he is.
Yeah, it's always the early riser for him.
Yeah.
Channel members, you'll find that out soon who we got back to back here. Let's just say it's a Ravens and Steelers back to back.
Yeah.
The rivalry's back. But former Raven, former Steeler, they're going to be joining us early on and we're getting the action going. But yeah, the cool part about the radio side for us, we plan to be here every year. Whether the teams are in it, whether Baltimore's in it or not, and Lord knows they were not in it this year or the playoffs. Or
we didn't need a Lord knows. We all saw it.
Yeah. But so the point is we hope to be out here each and every week or each and every week of the Super Bowl. So if that's the case, yeah, it's not a must for anybody in this case. It's not a must win for anybody. But we're not playing the game. So if you were a fan of these teams, you lose the Super Bowl, do you walk away feeling better or worse or just crushed? Now, luckily, if you're a Baltimore fan, you haven't been crushed in a Super Bowl championship. All you know is winning.
Yeah.
But all the other teams, like look at Buffalo. Buffalo has been to 4 Super Bowls. They've lost every single one of them. That is crushing.
4 straight too. Like that's demoralizing.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. We play, is Herm Edwards around here? Because you know why we play? We play
the game
to win the game. Must-win game, I think that's self-explanatory.
Maybe Buffalo should have thought about that. If Buffalo, like in those 4 straight Super Bowls, if they just like considered it a must-win, maybe they would have. Well, is it a must-win or a can't lose? What's the Super Bowl?
Well, if you have clear eyes, full heart, you can't lose.
That's true. Guess that's what should have been asked of Vrabel. Is this a can't win or a can't lose or a must win?
Yes.
Yes.
Or he could have, the follow-up question could be, if you have clear eyes and a full heart,
actually, I will say,
can't lose.
I think it's a can't lose, because isn't there like some crazy stat where teams that lose the Super Bowl, like,
they fall
crazy
off.
Yeah, like it almost is kind of a can't lose. Like this will impact you for years if you lose this.
So last year it was the Chiefs missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, after they lost to the
Chiefs, missed. No, they
made it and were knocked out immediately.
Yeah.
And then bounced back and won the Super Bowl. So they were back. Yeah. 49ers, didn't make the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
So there's some thought to this here. So you know what? Should be a fun week. Good luck to Vrabel. Wait, is it gone again?
Yeah,
what's wrong?
There you go.
It's everywhere. No one could notice these things. No, come on.
This was all pre-show to everyone. Like the entire pre-show, but I was like, hey, we restarted the countdown because of it.
Oh, that's why we restarted the countdown?
One of the reasons.
I got to say, I'm sorry. If we're a little bit on edge, it's not you all, it's Zach.
I'm tired.
We're doing great.
I think we are having a fantastic time. We've had Chipotle. We've had
great company.
Yeah.
We have a table. We have great backgrounds.
Hey, listen, yes, we are very fortunate this time around. We have so much space. We have our own tables.
We have so much room for activity.
We got Ryan just doing dumb shit behind me.
But this
we got everything.
But this is what we're going to do for a while here. But you know what? This is the exciting time. A lot of interviews. But you know it's also exciting. If you are a Baltimore fan, there is some exciting news. Baseball is starting next week. There's going to be a first-time manager. For the Ravens, there's a first-time head coach, and he's still filling out his staff. So if you're excited about what that new look for the Baltimore Ravens can be, well, then you're going to like the news that happened today, because we just talked about it to start off the show. We're on the plane. We're relaxing, and whammy, what do we see just pop up on there? Adam Schefter or whoever. Everyone claimed the report, by the way. I wanted to throw that out there. Everyone,
that's been happening.
Everyone claimed the report that they heard the news. That's fine.
I think Jeff's, and I'm, maybe I'm not overstepping, but I'm going to give our boy, friend of the show, friend of the program, Jeff Zaribek. I think I saw him first, and then I think I saw a retweet of him. So I'm just going to, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm giving our boy Jeff Z credit there.
I saw another reporter that I won't name, but it said Anthony Weaver to the Ravens per me. And I'm like, I've seen that 3 or 4 times now. But that's beside the point. The point is Anthony Weaver is going to be the Ravens defensive coordinator. Now, we know he's not calling plays, but he was a hot head coaching candidate just a few weeks ago. So if we're going back a few weeks ago and you'd said that Anthony Weaver would be back in Baltimore, that was the biggest thing for me. I was shocked.
I'm actually surprised at this signing only because Jesse Minter has already said that he's going to be calling plays. So bringing in a guy like Anthony Weaver, who was a great play caller, seems kind of strange. It's almost like
I think
he's going to have that assistant head coach role, I guess, more so than anything. But it's just kind of like I like the hire. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's just kind of weird considering Minter's already kind of voiced that he's going to be the play caller for the defense.
I think for me, the biggest thing is it is a kind of like you said, I think this is a quote unquote like personality hire. Everyone raves about him. He's a guy that I think it is important, defensive line guy. And you had Mickens, who is secondary. You have Minter, who comes from a secondary background. You need someone to kind of take over the D line and kind of help those boys. And when 2023, when Anthony Weaver was in charge of the D line, I mean, those boys were humming.
Oh, yeah.
That was when we had Kyle Van Noy, we had Jadeveon Clowney. Everyone was pretty much everyone. You name the roster, you name a player on the roster, they were getting close to 10 sacks. So I think it is a combination of not only is it a guy where, okay, they went super young for offensive coordinator. Minter has never obviously been a head coach in the NFL. Get a guy who is, I'm not even going to call him, this old, like, someone to lean on, because funny enough, Anthony Weaver, I think he's like 44. So it's not like this is some, you're getting this veteran guy in there. He's a guy that's been around, been to a lot of places, has played in the league. We actually have a few coaches talking about how that means a lot to players. And I think he's a guy that not only Minter's going to lean on, but I think the players defensively get to lean on. And just overall, that's why I love this hire, is if he was calling plays, honestly, I would be a little bit more like, okay, didn't go great in Miami. Like, it wasn't the greatest defenses, but I think Minter calling the plays, his specialties, when you get into those 3rd and longs and he can dial stuff up that, is kind of his MO. You also get Weaver and then Mickens helping out. I think that this is a really, really strong hire by the Ravens in a lot of aspects.
I do too, because of the familiarity. But on top of it, to the points that you just made, Anthony Weaver has continued his experience. The last few years, they thought that he was an up-and-coming head coaching candidate. And honestly, probably a big reason why he maybe wasn't viewed as a favorite to others was kind of what happened with the Dolphins in general. They had a reset. Mike McDaniel's going to go to the Chargers, be an OC for a year. If he has success, he'll probably have another head coaching opportunity. So I think Anthony Weaver, when that opportunity presents itself, we talk about putting yourself in the right position. Well, coming back to a place where this organization very well, this defensive talent well, and you're going to have a coach that is very defensive oriented and probably has some like-minded qualities of what you want your defense to embody. It makes a lot of sense. And if you don't believe me on what people think about Anthony Weaver, well, why don't we start first with Mike Pedden, who Anthony Weaver was on his staff back when Pedden was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. So why don't we start with that clip from Mike Pedden, and then we'll react to it on the other side. Tell people that don't know a lot about Anthony Weaver of why teams are so interested in him. I have my opinions, but you spent the time with him. Could you maybe give a little bit of understanding of why teams believe he can lead their squads moving forward?
Well, he's credibility with the players, having played, for a long time at a high level. I mean, I was on the Ravens staff. He was the first draft class I was a part of was Weave. He's an excellent communicator. He loves football. And I think that's something that you can't fake. Like he is so passionate about it and loves it. And to me, that's contagious. And guys want to be around that, and because he loves it so much, I mean, he is as competitive a son of a gun as you'll be around, whether it was off the field, whether it's shooting hoops or whatever it was. He doesn't like to lose, and that's a trait that you would think everybody would have. Not everybody does. There's too many guys that I've been around coaching wise that are, hey, we're going to try hard. We hope we win, but it's not the end of the world if we lose. Weave's a guy that.
So he continues to go on and say about the competitive spirit of Anthony Weaver, but all the qualities that make Anthony Weaver very intriguing to other teams and organizations. And you've seen the buildup. If you want to even go back before Zach Orr was hired or promoted to defensive coordinator, the thought was that it was going to be Anthony Weaver. But then Anthony went to the Dolphins to take over that role as the defensive coordinator, and Zach Orr ended up being that guy in Baltimore. Well, that was one coach that spoke very highly of him. Why don't we talk to another coach that won a Super Bowl out there in Denver and former offensive coordinator of the Ravens, was a head coach in Houston where he coached Anthony, but it's Gary Kubiak. So let's play Gary Kubiak's thoughts on Anthony, and then we'll talk about it.
His career as a coach, we've played for me. And so it's easy for me to sit here in this interview and tell you guys, I mean, Anthony Weaver is a class act. I mean, he is a great, great person. He's somebody that you as an owner or a GM, you can lay your head down at night knowing that he's running something for you because he's such a good person. And his background of coaching, how he came up, and it's been primarily as a Raven, you know, so he knows what the expectations are. He knows how they work there. He knows, you know, he's so embedded in their program, which is an amazing thing. So Weave's going to be a great coach, you know, I mean, any opportunity he gets.
So I'm going to take the word of coaches that have been around for a while. And whether or not that leads to Anthony Weaver being a head coach at some point, who knows? But if you're talking about a guy that fits what Baltimore needs or wants, it's Anthony Weaver. And I do think that's my theory. If Anthony is looking for his best shot moving forward to be a head coach, don't you want to go to a place that you feel you can go and have success and get that job elsewhere? Yeah. That's how I feel. And if you believe that Baltimore has the guys, which I think they do, I think we both do. We think that's why people were so frustrated with the season, is because even with all the injuries, there was still enough talent on that defensive side to have success, and they didn't. But with that group and you add some pieces, this is a Baltimore Ravens staff with Weaver and with Jesse Minter that they should take the step. And then that's ultimately going to show how great Jesse Minter can be, and ultimately is going to lead to more opportunities for Mr. Weaver.
Yeah, I don't think it's an if, it's a when he gets that opportunity to be a head coach. I think he genuinely, he's put out not only on the on tape, but just every single coach, every single player, anyone who ever has come in contact with Anthony Weaver has the same message. Just one, competitive, how easy it is to learn from him, how great of a leader he is. I just think he is one of those guys where he might not be the hottest name on the head coaching search every year, but he's getting more and more opportunities. He's getting more and more second interviews. I think he is genuinely a guy that teams view as potentially down the line one of the top head coach candidates in the National Football League. And I do want to point out his history with the Ravens. And we talk about, yes, Minter has history there. They actually never overlapped. So this isn't someone that coached with Minter. So you don't have that, oh, well, he's just bringing back his old Baltimore staff. This is something where I think Anthony Weaver fit what Minter was looking for. A guy that, one, works with the D-line and can help them in that aspect. Two, is just a leader, somebody that everyone gravitates to, that is going to get the most out of these players. Because we talked about with Declan Doyle, what does a coordinator do when the head coach calls the plays? Well, it's not that they're just sitting on their hands all week and they're just like, oh, I'm just here to kind of for the ride. You know, I'm just kind of hanging out. They're doing all the work. So this is somebody that Minter trusts, that he knows is going to get these guys ready. So then by the time he gets there, it's, you know, Friday install, it's, you know, Thursday, and he's more focused on the game calling. It's already there. They're already ready. I think that that's the biggest thing, is he trusts that, hey, Anthony Weaver is going to have these guys ready and going to put them in the best situation to have success. So when Minter starts calling the plays on Sundays, they're already there, and it's just up to him to call the X's and O's.
You know what? The beauty of this, again, as much as people like to say, well, get away from, get some fresh voices, get some fresh faces, new philosophies, which these new coaches are going to have that. But I also want to say, have coaches that can fit what the mold of the Ravens wants to be and has been in the past. The play like the Raven mantra. Jesse Minter being a coach here, he understands that. Anthony Weaver being a player and a coach here, he understands that. So it's a really good blend. I'm excited, was surprised with the move, but happy to see that Anthony Weaver is going to be back in Baltimore, because he wants to also be in Baltimore. And kind of, we'll pivot then to the other side, by the way, because, guys, there's one player that fans now on the baseball side are wondering if he wants to be in Baltimore or not. And it's still the pitcher that isn't signed yet. So in this case, Framber Valdez still has not signed. Yeah, I know there's a lot. I know
there's a lot going on here.
It's going to get more hectic tomorrow. So if you just want to come for the vibes.
I wonder if because we hear more right now because there's
the
less
echo
people.
Is intense.
I kind of want to get up and yell myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to match the energy. We will not be outdone here on the Ryan Ripken Show. But back to the point. We went away from this stream. Now let's go back to our stream. And while we're doing that, make sure you have a little auto stream for your Bush sack. Write that down. But Framber Valdez is not a Baltimore Oriole yet. He's not a pitcher for any team right now. And the days are getting closer and closer to the spring. And not only with this whole situation with Framber, it's other pitchers as well. Framber, Gallen, Gio, Bassett, Verlander, not signed. But the main one's still going to be about Framber. And I don't want to sit here and continue to have this conversation because you guys already know how I feel. That hasn't changed since the last time we talked. Whether the Orioles sign him or not, it's not going to impact what they need to do going into the season or what they have to acquire moving forward. Doesn't change it, but they need to make sure that they land somebody. Depth, big name, you name it, they have to do something. So in this case, it still makes sense to me. What are you doing back there?
You just wait.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for a second. I'll heal cinnamon. But let me continue on here. A short-term deal for Framber makes the most sense in the world. Yeah. If especially that would be right in the wheelhouse of the Orioles. And everything I'm hearing is they're very interested. But then is it the pushback from Framber? I don't like to sit here and speculate. I really don't know. But clearly it's not as cut and dry of best deal, I'm going to take it. Because clearly if it was the case, he would have taken the deal.
Yeah.
I think that the deal is close enough where he wants more money elsewhere or he's really contemplating going to another place that isn't Baltimore. That's what it seems like to me. Because, again, going down to the Pete Alonso, got the years, got the money. All right, he felt what it was in Baltimore. He was ready to make the move. Great. And for those that are saying that the Orioles weren't willing to spend, they also put in an offer for 5 for $150 to Schwarber. And Schwarber was like, yeah, I want to go back to Philly no matter what, which he did. They matched it. He did it because that's where he wanted to go. I'm curious if the money is so close that Framber's saying, all right, let me think about this a little bit more through. And the other part, Zach, I think the CBA talk for him, he's one of the older starting pitchers as far as the ones that can cash out. I think he has a little bit in the back of his mind in his agency. If I sign a short-term deal and we go to a lockout, what if they put a salary cap or some sort of spending on because MLB and the Players Association come to a agreement, which that's a big what if.
Yeah.
But that has to be what's going through his mind. It's February now.
I just think we are at the point where there's so much going through his mind at this point. It's like, just make the decision. Like, and I get it. It is just gotten to the point where I feel like we've talked about Framber about, like, I thought he was close to signing right after New Year's. Like, it felt like all the writing was on the wall. He was going to make a decision soon. And now here we are. I don't know if it's he doesn't want to be in Baltimore. I don't know if it's he wants to go elsewhere, if he's looking for money elsewhere, if he thinks a different team's going to come in. Maybe he's waiting for a certain team to make an offer. But whatever is happening right now, he clearly is not happy with it. And I just can't. If you don't want to be here, I think that's also a thing. Like, we talk about Pete Alonso, and he wanted to be here. He wanted to win here. He wants to win here. He's bought into winning here. If you're going to spend the money, it better be for someone who is fully bought into what you are doing. And if it's just Framber being like, whatever, I'll go to Baltimore, don't really want to, but they're the best offer, so yeah, sure, I'll play with you for a year. Is that really the best mindset? I mean, there are already questions about the clubhouse, with his.
Well, here's my question, Zach. Here's my question to both of you, I guess. If that's the case, then why haven't the O's just signed somebody else?
I think it's at a standstill of what the market value is. And I think the other pitchers are sitting there going, well,
think they're all waiting.
If the Orioles also have interest in Gallen, but Gallen also is trying to get his market to rise, it's the domino effect.
But you're a week out of spring training, like it's not going anywhere.
So I think my guess is what it's gotten to. I think there is a timeline that the teams are putting on, and wherever he ends up signing, there could be teams that dropped out of it because of the timeline. Because you're right, they have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And this is the part that when I try to be real with people on this isn't about always the money. Like you overspend and that's what you want to do, great. Like the Mets overspent for Bo Bichette. I love Bo Bichette, by the way. I think he's a top hitter. They just said, we'll give you $43 million and you can opt out after the next year if you want. But $43 million for 1 year, you can do it. Kyle Tucker will give you almost $60 million a year. You can opt out early. Great. Most teams don't want to do that if they're going to do a short-term deal. But above all, most other players, you don't want to have to convince them to want to be a part of what you're trying to build.
Yeah.
Like when you're making the pitch, and I've been asked about this, it's you should want to go to a team because they pay you well, obviously. That's nice. But two, it's the same thing we just talked about with Anthony Weaver. Do you think you're going to cash in playing here? And that's the other part, I think. Does Framber have doubts that he can be the pitcher he can be pitching at Camden Yards? Maybe not. I don't know. But if he's looking for a short-term deal and you're looking at playing in the AL East where you got to go to Yankee Stadium, you got to go and play in Camden Yards, those are not friendly spots. And I'm not saying he's not a competitor on that side. That's not at all what I'm saying. He played it in freaking Houston with the shortest porch to left. Yeah. But that's the point here. If I'm the Orioles, Brad, to your point, I think they have a deadline. I think a lot of teams do, and they move on. I do think they will get one. They will get a pitcher. They don't have enough depth behind the guys that they have. And then I think that will allow Cade Povich to be like a seventh in their rotation. Tyler Wells, to me, is 100% going to the pen. He's a pen guy. So, but he's still a depth. But yeah, you got to put a timeline
like you
on
said, I think he's a guy that I'm penning into the bullpen. Just like we know he can be a starter, but I think of guys you can actually trust.
Yeah,
Tyler Wells is up there. Like of guys that I'm like if you put Cade Povich in the bullpen, you're like, okay, we'll see how this goes. I trust Tyler Wells in the rotation, and I trust him out of the bullpen. He's kind of like a wild card in the fact of you can kind of put him anywhere, and you know that you are going to get a damn good pitcher out of him. I know some people for a while were like, oh, he could be the closer. He could be the setup man. I think maybe he's working at least to begin more in that 6th, 7th inning. Maybe he can go multi-innings, eat up 3 innings for you if the starter doesn't go as long. But I think Tyler Wells is going to be a massive X factor for this pitching rotation or for this pitching staff this season.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's easier to put your bullpen together than it is your starting rotation. Someone said they're more worried about the bullpen. I'm still not, because you can put pieces into your bullpen. You can claim guys from other teams and they can play out and they can pan out. Starting rotation, it is a rarity that a guy shocks you coming through the system. Like what Trevor Rogers ended up doing last year, which you expected he could be a big league pitcher, that do not expect that. No. Like what Savage did with the Blue Jays coming up down the stretch, that's bona fide star stuff, which is 1 in 1,000 chances there. Like, wow, that dude just rose to it. Now Savage, can he do that the rest of his way? Who knows? But for the Orioles, you need guys that, all right, someone goes down, can you fill the void? Depth matters. Starting depth, you need it. And quite frankly, a lot of these teams, some teams are going to be willing to wait that out. I don't think the Orioles are one of them. I think they're going to dig their toe in the sand and move forward, because I'll say it again. Your goal when camp opens up is not about who you might sign. It's who do you have, and who do you have and how do you want to play? Because one thing that the Orioles did that was unacceptable for them to win moving forward is that they didn't do the little things. They didn't fundamentally handle their situations well. They have to get their young players on track. That is their primary focus. And then be healthy with who you have with Bradish and Rogers and Kramer and Eflin and Boz. You do that, I promise you the Orioles are going to be better. Yeah. That's the most important thing. And also with everything going on with the World Baseball Classic and teams are getting scared, Some other team will probably wait for the deadline to go into camp because they're worried about some of their guys playing. I don't know if you guys are following this. The World Baseball Classic right now, Puerto Rico was going to be one of the host teams, right?
Shelled by that. What
the insurance?
Yeah.
That Puerto Rico is one of the teams that's saying, or the players on the Puerto Rican team, the players aren't getting the insurance coverage to still play if they get hurt.
Yeah.
And then there's talks of Puerto Rico withdrawing from the World Baseball Classic. Think about that. That's crazy, but that's the business. So when we're talking about depth, if someone goes down playing the World Baseball Classic, which I think everyone should, it's a great opportunity, but I get it from a big league team. Your goal is to win the World Series. You don't care as much about a World Baseball Classic for a month. You don't. But that has become a problem. And that is why a team will wait out Framber Valdez. They will. Also, nuts. I would hate if Puerto Rico pulled out. It would be
Edwin
awful.
Diaz just committed to them actually today, 7 hours ago. Like they are considering, I guess, pulling out of the 2026 World Baseball Classic. I just really hope they don't. I mean, their team definitely just got kind of ravaged by that. You know, Francisco Lindor can't play anymore. Looks like from what's being reported, it's Lindor, Carlos Correa, Jose Barrios, Victor Caratini. Trying to see, those are some of the names listed right now. But Edwin Diaz, who actually, good for him for getting back on the World Baseball Classic mound, obviously suffered that freak injury last time he pitched in the World Baseball Classic. So hopefully just getting back out there. I hope Puerto Rico plays because, you know, even if they don't have their full roster, that's still a very good baseball team.
They love it. I mean, the World Baseball Classic is great for the game of baseball. MLB teams, though, they are going to be breathing heavy. They are going to be stressing at every moment that one of their stars, like Skubal, by the way, for the Tigers, something happens there that changes a whole lot.
Catastrophic.
And for the Mets, you're talking about with Lindor, which I know that's been one of the contentious points is around. Lindor has been one of those guys. Look, like you live and die by it. It's awesome to watch, but if an MLB team and I'm paying millions and millions of dollars, I get it. I don't blame them. But that is the problem that we're dealing with here. But you know what, guys? We're going to stop having these conversations and hypotheticals about what is, because I'm just freaking tired of it, man. I'm already tired because we were up at 4:35. I was getting boned by the Parkway trying to get to the airport, death, taxes, and I am losing my damn mind because we're having traffic on the Parkway. It's not Grind My Gears Tuesday, but I got to get that off my chest. I feel that way about the Parkway as I feel about these conversations with the pitchers. I wanted to get out of people's heads here, and this could be the hot take. This one move to me is not going to be the make or break if the Orioles win the World Series.
No.
I would say any team, any player that signs right now, it's not make or break. They could help. Like Brandon Donovan going to the M's, that's a great move. That could be a make or break spot for them. Could help their lineup. But overall,
got a studio pup.
It is a studio pup. Different type of studio pup.
Yeah.
That's a studio pup looking
for drugs
and other stuff. Ollie doesn't do that. Ollie just likes to sit on his,
It's not a bomb sniffing studio pup.
No, Ollie does his thing. But you guys get my point. You get my point. But the Mariners, other baseball news to move on because I'm done with the pitchers conversation. Brandon Donovan, Cardinals, M's, why?
And Rays.
Yeah, because the Rays are like, hey, you know what? We want a prospect.
There have been three team trades this year, and all three
for the Rays
have been involving the Rays just getting random prospects.
They're just there. They're ready.
They are.
But so that move happened because Suarez signed with the Reds. Going back there, I'm still shocked that only a 1 year, $15 million deal got it done for Suarez. I'm still shocked by how that was. But The dude hits bombs. That's going to help the Reds a lot. I thought the Red Sox, I still can't believe that they didn't make an offer. That was the reports out there. Jared Carrabis took that very well from what I saw on X. But so the M's, people said, well, why didn't you go back and get him? Well, the M's just, countered and got Donovan. They got a bat, they got a player, they got an impact guy. Those moves can be very impactful. But when it comes to acquiring pitchers, just a different game. But the Mariners, don't sleep on the Mariners, man. The AL's wide open. They broke through, winning the West, going to the Game 7 against the Jays in Toronto. Hell of a series. They're a few outs away from going to the World Series, and they get knocked out. So Donovan right there, Zach. I mean, you got the stats. Solid player, dude.
Yeah,
solid player.
Really solid player. He's got, he's no superstar, but a 775 OPS. He's got a 772 OPS for his career over the last 4 seasons. 282 career hitter last year, batting 287. Only 10 home runs, 64 runs, but this is a guy who is just a productive, grinded out type of player. I mean, it's never going to be the flashiest, but he is a guy that shows up. I mean, her bat to ball, not the best bat speed, but he's not going to strike out. He's not going to have big chases. When it's in the zone, he squares it up. I think this is I was looking at the Mariners team before we got on. They've got a nice lineup. I know it's not the sexiest lineup with the biggest names and all of this, but they've got some young superstars, obviously, with the Julio Rodriguez's, and then you add on, obviously, that incredible rotation. You add guys like Donovan. I really like what the Mariners are putting together. I'm not saying that, they're going to go win the World Series, but this is a team that you got to look out for in the West. I mean, I don't think the Astros are running away with anything. I don't think the Rangers are running away with anything. I mean, it depends on what you think about the Athletics, but I don't think they're improving. I think the Angels are in no man's land. The West is wide open, and I think right now when you go top to bottom, the Mariners have a very good case to be like, hey, we're the team to beat out here.
The Mariners should be the favorite in the West going into the year. No doubt in my mind. Not that they wouldn't shock me if they don't win it, but they should be the favorite out there. Pitching, they got it. Added some good players, hitting wise, solid team, and they got over that mental hurdle. Good for them. Good team, good lineup, and the AL is wide open. Wide open. By wide open, though, you got to beat your teams in your division. The rivalry games, it's a lot, whammy. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We could talk a lot of baseball, but we're going to save our breath.
Actually, real fast, surprisingly, the Mariners have the second best odds to win the American League.
The more you know right there. Write that down, Zach. Write that down, Ryan.
But we'll see. We'll see. Any given 162.
Any given 162. Okay.
I'm tired.
That's why I was wrapping it up, and then he brought that there.
Okay.
You were going back like this.
Yep. I'm fading.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we go get some rest?
Quickly.
So a little update tomorrow. If the live allows, then we would go live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Okay.
Yeah.
If it allows. If not, you guys will see some content, but that's how early we're starting. So we're going to
so far the stream's been doing really well.
Look at that. Yeah. If we're having any issues, let us know. But if it's perfect, just give a little bark in the chat. Or
I've been watching it. I've been watching it on my phone. It's been great.
Was that what I was hearing?
No, you were hearing California Girls.
Oh, that's such a good song. I might play that on the drive home.
It was
Katy Perry.
Part of my story.
Oh,
IG story.
Oh, that's electric. All right. So guys, hit that like and subscribe button. Come back and join us tomorrow. We won't have our normal scheduled times, but we're going to have a hell of a lot of content for you. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for all the support. We're out here. We have a banner. My name is Ryan Ripken, and we're on a banner now. But
your name's on the show.
My name's on the show, but we are a team. We appreciate each and every one of you. It's been one hell of a Jersey. Gosh, yeah, I need to get the hell out of here.
Get the hell off the air.
Yeah. Get that son of a bitch.
Goodbye.
Here we go. Let's
see you mañana.
Are we cueing the music?
No.
No music?
No.
No mas.
No more.
Have a day. Have a night. Appreciate you guys. See
Bye.
you in a few hours.